Now, the other aspect that I wanted to discuss about roulette is a rare occasion where you could actually give yourself an edge or find that you are in a situation where you have an advantage. And this is a very rare situation. It comes to you every now and then if you're lucky. It's when the dealer has a distinct pattern of how they spin the wheel. Now, a lot of people think this is nonsense, and most of the time they're right. But every now and then, you'll notice a dealer it's in kind of a rhythm, in a robotic trance. They've been working for a long time. They're kind of just going through the motions, and you'll be surprised on how accurately, how repetitive their pattern is. So, for instance, you could see a dealer that hits, say, the number 3. And then they go next and they hit the number 24, and then they hit the 0, then they hit another number. And you notice, you might happen to notice, wait a second, I noticed that every spin is like exactly 8 numbers on the wheel from the next one. And I notice this happening consistently, give or take 1 or 2 numbers. A lot of the time, you'll find the dealer hits the same section of the wheel, literally goes a full circle and hits the same section of the wheel within a space of 3 numbers over and over again. Now, this is really a hit and run strategy, because as soon as you win, and I've noticed this before. For example, I was playing at the Falls View VIP room, and I was just fucking around. I was putting $100 on 0, and I was just missing by 1 number, 2 numbers. I was getting very close, but I noticed like there was 5 spins where the ball was hitting within 3 numbers of the 0 every time, and I was like, you know what? There's a distinct pattern here. I saw the dealer wasn't really talking to anybody. They were kind of just doing their thing, and they wanted to get through the day, and they weren't varying their spin. They were in that trance. And so what I did was I totally filled up the 0. I maxed that out. Then I put my bets all around the 0, and lo and behold, it hit the 0. And then I kept it on there, and it hit it again, and again, and again. Well, it hit it 3 times. So I had about, well, I basically was pulling in close to 20,000 a spin, and then it hit just beside it, and then eventually after the 3rd time, then everyone was like, wow, it's amazing, and the dealer kind of woke up from their trance, and then it changed. They kind of changed the way they were spinning, and then it was over. But it's really a hit and run strategy now, especially in the suckers roulette games at the Carnival pit, where you're playing with the 2 zeros. If you have a big win, if you see this, get on it, load it up. But don't try to look too obvious, and make sure that you cover a significant section of it. So don't just bet the 1 number that you think. Make sure you cover about 3 numbers to the left, 3 numbers to the right, minimum. Put it all in there, and you may not always win, but it's like counting cards in blackjack. But you'll find that most of the time, if there is a pattern, a real pattern, and a lot of the time people want to believe that they're seeing a pattern. They try to force a pattern or a situation. That's a recipe for disaster, because a lot of people will say, oh, well, I can figure it out because I saw the last spin, it moved four spaces, 4 numbers over, and then it moved 15, then it moved 20, but I know the average is right around 12 numbers between each spin. So you keep betting 12 numbers away a bunch of times, but that's just utter nonsense, and that's going to bankrupt you unless you get lucky. But what I'm talking about is a very clear pattern, and when there is a pattern, you will see it very clearly. It will be clear as day. That pattern that you will see. So as I said, the example that I gave with the 0, it was hitting right around the 0. It hit about 5 times right around, and then I knew it was inevitable that it would hit the 0. But I pyramided around the 0, and I also bet a few numbers over. But it hit the 0. It happened to hit the 0 bang on. So I was lucky. But hitting a few numbers around, anyway, I went on a very big score, scooped a lot, and after seeing me win, they changed the pattern. Now, I went off a bit of a tangent here, but outside the VIP room, if you win $2,500 or more in a single spin, they have to verify with the camera. So as soon as that happens, everyone will be like, oh, wow, oh my God, you're so lucky, blah, blah. Then the dealer will kind of awaken from their trance, things will change, and then it's over. So if you're smart, if you happen to come across it, which is a relatively rare occurrence, it's not going to happen most likely more than 1 out of 10 times that you're in the casino, that you're going to see a real pattern going on. So yeah, it's hit and run, take the money, and then just leave if you can, or if you're like me, come back the next weekend and dump it all back. But Yeah, that's the one situation where you have a chance of, you have a big edge over the house if you could memorize the pattern of the wheel when there is a situation where a pattern exists. Okay, thanks, guys. I really hope this is helpful for you guys. And if it's not, well, I really don't give a fuck. But I think it will be. I think if you take my advice next time you go out to the casino, I think some of you will find that you have a big score. Most of you won't. Anyway, all the best.